Exclamation everybody, and welcome to Gods and Idols. As you can see on your screen, this is a pre-alpha early access game. It's been in early access since, or at least on Steam anyway, since December of 2016, so it's been out there a while. I just happened to stumble onto it myself. It is by Viking Tau, and it's free to play. And it's a MMO RTS, so real-time strategy game set as in a persistent, MMO universe. Kind of an interesting concept. It needs as you might imagine, something in early access like this needs a bit of work. And I'm going to show you what I've been up to off camera a bit. So let's just go connect. And you can see there's like 6 other players online, and then it pops me into my planet, which is Bajai Gap is my planet, my main planet anyway. Let's zoom in here so we can do a little planetary view, and you'll see a bunch of things here that suggest that I'm not really playing it right. And it's very true. You can see my people are starving and my people are severely depressed. Because it's an MMO, the game keeps playing even when you log off. So when I logged off yesterday, everything was looking rosy. When I came and logged on today, I was in basically what I would call a death oscillation. Now, real-time strategy games all tend to have their death spirals of some sort. Anyone who's played Cities Skylines, for instance, knows that if you accidentally put a sewage treatment plant upriver of your drinking water, you're suddenly going to lose about 60% of your population. This game, it has this sort of oscillation that's constantly going on, and you can see it right now if I go under more here. And I look, not more. If I look at my granary, for instance, so they're telling me that my people are starving. So I look at my granary, you'll see that it's oscillating between producing more fruit and honey than I need and not producing enough. And same with vegetables and whatnot. We're still producing lots of grain, kind of. We have a lot of grain in reserve, so we're not really using up the grain as much. But milk and everything else, we're not really getting enough done in order to feed our population. And the problem with that is everything in the game, the population growth is based on the population cap, I should say, is based on the number of towns and or metropolises that you have. So I have a metropolis here. You can see I got some transfer capacity going. That's just to help with the transfers. You can see my ship's transferring goods back and forth. I believe that just adds to that up here. You can see I have 5 haulers with this amount of transport capacity. And then I got like little towns like this that are the same thing, but they only provide for 100 houses. So towns provide for 100 houses, and I forget how many the metropolis does. I think it's like 300 or something like that. I forget. Does it actually tell me how much here? It doesn't say, but I forget exactly how many this metropolis adds in, but it's a lot more obviously than a town. It's the next step up from a town. Now, because that is your population cap, and that's the only thing capping your population, you end up in this oscillation that I'm showing here now, where I keep trying to produce more population up to the max, but there's not enough food to support it, so it keeps bouncing back and forth between people dying off from starvation and people being born, and people dying off from starvation and people being born. And that in and of itself wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing, except that it becomes almost, I wouldn't say impossible, but very unlikely to recover from it right now. Every building in the game has a workforce assigned to it. And that workforce is based on the number of vagrants you have. And there are also gender-based vagrants where if you assign men to it, you get more production output, but if you assign women to it, you'll get less resource requirements needed to produce the same amount. And that generally holds true throughout most of the buildings. There are a few that's a little bit different with. But because you need that, in addition to that, like if I look at my sawmill here, I don't have any production going on. But basically, you assign what gender is going to be working on your sawmill, and you can change this at a different time. But then when you want to produce something, you need workers. You need actual vagrant workers, and they'll say which gender you need. In this case, I need women, in order to actually produce these things. When you're in this oscillation that I'm in right now, you can see I ain't producing no vagrant women or men, right? So in order to get enough, in fact, I've got a negative on it. So in order to get more to say, like I've built a couple more livestock farms here, right? But I can't actually produce anything out of them because I don't have the vagrant population to do it. So in order to do that, I'd have to take people off of some of these other things, and very, very quickly, because it's going down in real time here, very, very quickly I gotta take somebody off of this and very quickly come over here and add something to this, and hope that I do that enough times that we can actually start to feed people. The other problem with that is, just to make these buildings all require resources. So if I look under the build menu here, like a livestock farm requires 40 bricks, 25 concrete, 20 metal sheets, 10 metal pipes, 40 planks, and then and those have to be delivered by your haulers. So you got to wait for your haulers to actually deliver them, which they're not as efficient as you might think they are, or they are supplied by your warehouse, which as you can see in green, I've got more than enough of all those things right now. We'll look at my warehouse. I've got 2 warehouses. So I'll look at this one here. They both show the same view. You can see we're maxed out at 500. Each warehouse has a maximum of 250 for each category. So I have 2 of them, so I'm maxed out at 500. So I'm making more cloth than I need. I'm making more concrete than I need. So I could take some things away from these and try very hard to get over and reshuffle my population around. Basically, you're shuffling your population around like a deck of cards, sort of, in order to kind of make some progress with feeding the population again, and then hope that I feed them enough that I can then put some workers back in here. So it's a lot of this like shuffling, which I'm not necessarily saying is a bad thing, but when you look at something like, but just to build this livestock farm, as I was getting into, you can see it says bricks, concrete, metal sheet, metal pipes, and all that stuff. All those things require buildings that are staffed up by vagrant workers. So you can see you need workers to produce things to make other buildings that then house workers that you need to actually feed the workers that were producing the things that made that other building possible, and all that stuff. And you get into this kind of weird situation where, like for instance, the smelter is the thing producing aluminum, right? I have 25 people assigned to the aluminum right now, and I have 20 assigned to the iron production. So I'm producing aluminum and iron at 15.6 there. You can see how much. That is feeding into the foundry, which is producing metal sheets, because metal sheets require aluminum. You can see, so aluminum's coming into there. And then I need 25 people here in order to produce the metal sheets from that. And then the forge here is the one that's making the metal pipes, and he needs steel and some metal sheets. I think the steel is for tools, which I need it for something else. And the metal sheets are needed for the metal pipes. You can see from 30 metal sheets, you get 30 metal pipes per minute. So you can see you need all these staffing requirements just to get the resources necessary to build, say, a livestock farm. So you can't take away from those until you've built the things. And once you've built the things, you can kind of take away from those things, and unless, of course, you've got them already in the warehouse. All this is a long-winded way of me saying, I think one of the driving factors that this game needs to do better is a UI that's a little bit more catered to the way things are produced in here. Like, you can see the requirements that you need for one thing, but then you got to dig into another thing to see the requirements for the other thing. You need to dig into another thing to see the requirements for the other thing. And it's kind of, you're playing this shuffleboard thing where it's like, it doesn't help right now that all the icons look pretty much identical. So it's like, oh, is this my foundry? No, this is my forge. And this is my, okay. You know what I mean? So it kind of doesn't help that matter at all. But I'm sure that's just an art thing, not really it's just like temporary art and whatnot. But you end up in these situations like this. And then really, honestly, they should, since it's always playing, the game is always playing online and on the server, I feel like the population cap should be based not only on how many houses you have, but also the amount of food you're producing. Like, I think that should be the cap. That would make it more like a dual cap there. That would make it make more sense as you're building. You can say, oh, I need more population, but I don't have enough food to feed them yet, so I should probably go do that. You know, I mean, it says here, you know, I'm 78.2 in the red as far as food eaten per minute, and I only got like 2 in stock. So, and I saw that number was going up when I logged off, but I'm like, well, how do I really fix that right now based on what I've got? Not to mention the fact that the game is very, very slow. Like, I'm at a point now where the game is the pace has picked up a little bit. I'll show you, I'll move to another planet and I'll show you what it looks like when you first start. But let's just go and let's see if I can manage to get more food production here. So what do I really need the most of? I need, see, it's hard to tell because it's oscillating back and forth, but I'm guessing I need more honey, I need more fruit, I need more milk and vegetables. So the milk comes from livestock farms. So I also need some vagrant men and women to actually do stuff here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to stop. So this is men, right? So I'm going to stop producing cloth and candles because we don't really need those right now. That should give me some men back. That gave me 28 men back. So we can go here real fast. Go here. We'll do milk. We'll do honey. We'll do meat. And then the death rate caught up with me, so I can't do any more right now. That's what I'm talking about. It's all like time based now, and it's very hard to keep up with it. So, has that put a dent in anything? Not really. Not really. It has not really done much. We have our industrial pit mine here, which is giving me all my resources, which means I could probably take some away from the simple mines I have. So if I do this fast, let's see here. Let me see, how many would I get back? 10 and 20. Okay, so we'll do bango, bango, real fast. Come over here. We'll say women. We'll say animals. We'll say honey. We'll say milk. And that didn't quite get there fast enough. But there you go. You see how it's... We're producing more things. We're producing animals now, which I actually probably don't need animals as much as I need... say grain. Well, grain, I know I was having more than enough grain. I think it's really milk and vegetables and stuff. So let's see, our crop farm, which is a normal sort of lower key farm. So we got some grain. What does it take for fruit? 4, and 4 for vegetables. So if I take these 2 grains off and real fast try to do this, I don't think it's going to work, but I'll try it. 1, 2, and then nope. Nope, not fast enough. But so now we're not even producing any grain from there, which is fine, I guess, because we were producing far more than we were using, I think. Yeah, now we're going down again. So, but we have a bunch in stock now, and we're still not doing enough on this side of things. So, like, you're kind of stuck in this rut here, where it's like I can't do much to pull myself out of it, per se, unless I'm really fast, which I can try and do by, let's see, do I have a farm over here? I do. Okay, let's see if I can go bingo bango, Go down to the farm real fast and nothing. Okay. Let's take some grain off of there and then nothing. Because I did working men instead of working women. That's why. So, yeah, that sucks. I guess I should have looked at that first before I did that. And our working men are just all dying off now. So I can't really do much there. I mean, I could, in theory, just turn all these off, let all the population die out that's going to die out, and then pick up from there. But feels like that's a huge step back from just trying to be able to, just trying to do things here. Let's see what else I can do. So I think we have enough bricks, right? Yeah, we are maxed out on bricks. So, is this men? This is men on there. And then what is this? This is women, right? That's women. Let's see. This would be men as well. Is there a... How about this one? That's women. Oh, we're starting to go back up again. All right, so if I hurry up, I can maybe do something here with this. Well, no, I guess not. Fruit. Can I get fruit? Looks like we're up to 3 now. So I might be able to get up to 4 so I can do some fruit. Come on. Come on. You can do it. 3.68. 3.78. There we go. Fruit. And it'll be a while before we can do vegetables there, but let's see if I can get something going here. Livestock farm. Okay, you're that. I need... Here we go. So let's get more honey produced. More milk. Milk. There we go. And that's all we got so far. Alright. So now it's kind of oscillating a bit. People are very hungry. There's not enough food. No issues. See how it's oscillating to a point where, like, I don't know what to do here. Some more honey. And I get some more milk and stuff. We might be able to do this. We need 3 for that. We're still getting some vagrant women being produced. So that's good. Until I hit the next cap, and then it'll and then I'll be right back where I started here. Let's see. Yep, there we go. Milk. And that's good for now. Alright, so how are we doing with the granary? Alright, now we're seeing more positive numbers. Still not enough positive numbers on milk, so we're going to need to get some more of that. Our grain is going down as well because I took people off grain from this one thing. So let's put some more grain back into this system. And then we'll see if I can get... Oh, that's the theater. So I put like a nightclub down and a theater or a garden park down so I could try and get a theater. So because they were saying like people are severely depressed and all that stuff, but they still are severely depressed regardless of that. So there we go. Producing milk. And mayhaps we will pull ourselves out of this spiral. We're getting close. We're getting close. It's still hard to tell. We're still not producing enough grain, as you might figure. So over here, we'll say do another green. That might be enough to trigger that. Still not quite. We still need more milk and things. Now let's see if I have enough to do. And oh, by the way, I've been putting these things on land, or at least trying to. But honestly, it doesn't stop you from building out on the ocean. So I should just start building on the ocean here. What I'm going to do is put another livestock farm down. Let's put it right there. Now you can see here is what it needs to be constructed. It needs all this brick, concrete, metal sheet pipes, and all that stuff. Most of the stuff I think we already have in the we've already produced and are already in the warehouse. So I think this should go relatively quickly. If I click on it, you can see there's a construct by hand, but you can't do that for advanced sites. That comes into play for the first tier sites because you don't have the materials to produce in order to transport them to build the farm. You have to actually build them by hand, which reduces the output of it by a certain percent, by 25% or something like that. It's a very weird system. It's kind of like a hokey sort of almost like a hack to try to get around some of the rules that exist in the game, kind of. So it's a little bit weird in that regard. Let's go put women on this one, and we'll say more milk, more honey, more milk, and that's all we got for right now. Alright, so how are we doing now? It has to have some kind of impact, right? You would think? We're still -2 on the milk, or -14 depending on which way you look at it. Now we're +12. Yeah, it's very hard to tell. If any game needed a line graph predicting what your future thing is going to be, it's this game. All right, but we're good over here. Yeah, I think I just need to put more milk production in this one, I'd say, and that will get us something, hopefully. What I should do is put another. Let's put another livestock farm down. We'll put it somewhere right there, maybe. Hopefully I have the resources for this as well. I think I do, because it doesn't take that much. I think I had everything maxed out at 500 for the most part. We're still making more bricks too, so that's a thing. And then iron. Okay. And then over here, this livestock farm. Some more milk production there. And you will eventually give me something here. You're almost to 3. That's what I need. What does the meat take? 8? Okay. Interesting. Alright. So milk on that. And you can see, like, with the meat and stuff, it requires a certain number of animals per second, which means you got to produce animals out of it. And certain percentage per second and all that stuff. So let's do animals. Let's do meat. Let's do milk. Milk again. And honey. And that's all we can do right now while that's going on. Alright, and that's plus to the production output. So now we've got 83.4 food eaten per minute, and we've got 151 in stock. So we are hopefully pulling our population out of the slump. Yeah, it looks like we're in the positives now again after all that. So you can see how they kind of manage it so you can get a bunch of positives going, although we're still negative on the meat, but I think that's because we're not producing enough animals, probably. And the grain we have reduced to nothing again, which is probably not good, I would imagine, but whatever. I think we're good for now on that, so I'm going to leave that be. I think what I'll do is I'll make another small farm here, crop farm down there, and then we'll have this produce some grain. This will be basically my grain producer, and that'll maybe get our grain production back up to where it should be, and then that should then allow us to generate alcohol here. As you can see, it requires glass and grain. So Alcohol should then help with the severe depression that my population is suffering, hopefully. That's the kind of god that I am. You're depressed? Shove some of this alcohol down your gullet and call me in the morning. Alright, so we'll do working women. We'll say grain, and plants, and then maybe some vegetables. What does that require? 4? Yeah, something like that. Requires 4 vegetables as my phone vibrates and makes makes loud noises. We need. Well, we're at 3. We need 4. Give me 4. Give me 4. You can do it. You can do it. So there's a lot of this. It's a lot of just kind of waiting around for things. It's not so bad right now because I got so many buildings to manage. But my goodness, when you first start out, it's like, it's basically a, let me sit here, let me let this run in the background while I catch up on YouTube videos. Watching some YouTube videos. That's basically where it's at when you first are jumping into it. So it's definitely one of those things where there's a long, boring curve when you first start, and then as you start to build out things, it starts to get a little bit more interesting. Although, really, you're just kind of shuffling things around a lot here. So now I've shown you sort of what it looks like to have a planet that's sort of been built out. This planet has taken me about, I'd say, 2.5 hours to get to this point. And 2 days really, but it's like 2.5 hours of actual playtime and then having it sit overnight. So if I zoom out a little bit here, and I'm using WASD for this, you can see this is the star. I'm in Shigab Thay. So that's my star here. If I zoom out even more, you'll see where I am in the universe. You can see I'm in neutral territory. Here, called Fufa. Fufa is our neutral territory, and then there's all kinds of other territories around here that are hostile or otherwise. If I hit tab, it'll show you all the empty territories. So when you first start the game, you basically have to select an empty territory and then colonize that. So if I zoom back in here again, hopefully I didn't change the direction that I'm zooming in here, so we can zoom right back into where I'm supposed to be. Alright. So you can see here's my planets. And then there's all these rings out here, and I've experimented with it off camera. I've made another planet over here called Nabalk. But what you do is when you first start out, you come into this ring system. And this didn't make a whole lot of sense when I first did it. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? And then I figured out what was going on. But basically, when you select a asteroid belt, I'll do that right now. You can get the accretion, I guess spell or whatever you want to call it, which will bring all the rocks in the asteroid belt together into form a planet. And then as you do it, asteroids will impact on the planet, and each asteroid has different attributes on it. Some of them have life, some of them have gas, some of them are negative and they take away from all those things. Some of them have bonuses that come with them. And once you get to your full progress, it will form a planet, and then that planet will have whatever attributes were taken from the asteroid impacts. So if I click on this and I say accretion, at some point here it will generate yep, there's the planet down there. So if I zoom in to this planet here, which is a lot harder than you might think. Alright, you can see we got negative things that had negative progress. This has negative metal, life, and gas. Usually the red ones are negative. So progress minus progress means it takes away from your progress bar here, which could be a good thing too. Like if you see more attributes coming in that you want, you could have a negative progress come through. This one's going to give me metal but take away from life, which I don't really want. This one's going to take away from everything. This one's going to give me life. This one's going to give me life. This one's going to take away progress. So get rid of that. Click on that to get rid of that. Gas, metal and life go down. Get rid of that progress thing. We got life, metal and gas over here. Another negative progress. This is plus 20 progress, which I don't necessarily want right now because I want to get some more attributes on here. If we can, you can see what attributes we've currently got. Metal, life, and gas there. Let's get rid of that. And then this one, random low tier bonus. Let's get rid of the progress one that just does progress, and let's let the random low tier bonus hit us. And there's some gas, some progress here. This, by far, is probably the most fun thing I've seen in a game, honestly. It's just like managing your planet by having these asteroid impacts. I think is really freaking awesome the way they've done this. Random mid-tier bonus. You got life there. The progress is still pretty good. And that one is going to take away from the progress. This one's going to give us a lot of progress, which I don't want right now. I want more life on here. Let's get rid of that guy. Get rid of this guy. There we go. Not getting a whole lot of metal, which I'm not keen on. This is life. Oh, here's some metal coming in. So that's good. Some metal there. Let's get rid of that gas one and that gas one. I think we got enough gas. Yeah, I think we have enough gas on there. I want more metal. Please. Let's get that going. Get rid of that one. Some life there. I definitely want more life on. Well, we got a lot of life on there. Let's see if we get some metal. Oh, damn it. That one hit. Alright, so we got these guys hitting here. That one, that 20 progress we don't want right now. I will let one of those progress ones hit eventually. Like I'll let that one go. Life, metal, gas. I don't want to take away metal anymore. Get rid of those. Get rid of that. That had plus metal. Damn it. Oh, that was a special one. I should have let that one hit. Damn it. I'm not looking at the colors properly. Okay, and yeah, we need more metal, my friends. We're not getting any metal here. Let's let those yellow ones hit. Let's get rid of all these other ones. Damn it. Did I get that one in time? I don't know if I did. Let's get that metal on there. There we go. That's doing things. Let's get rid of these. We don't need really any more life per se. I just need some more. I need metal. That's what I need. Let's do that. Get rid of that, that. Come on. Come on. Let that metal asteroid hit. Ooh, there's a good metal asteroid there. Oh, that's a really good one. Let those hit. Thank you very much. And bam, there we have it. We have made our planet. You see it's planet Sizodo. There we go. And it's got some attributes there that we can do. Now, thing is, I haven't... You need to unlock Colony in order to actually do this, or you need to make this your main planet, which in order to take it over. I can also shatter it and start over again if I wanted to. You can see here's all the attributes of the planet over here. It's an HM3 class planet. So we got 56 metal, 96 life, 42 gas. That's going to be a really good planet to take over. But I don't have the stuff for it yet. So I thought there was a way to actually say, yes, take this over as your, like you can't seed it Um, unless it's my capital planet. I guess I could make it my capital planet, huh? Is there a way to do that? Empire. Markets. I don't think there is a way to do that yet. I don't think there's a way to say I want this to be my capital planet. And you can't rename anything yet either. So yeah, I don't think there's a way for me to do that. It kind of sucks, but I would want to show you what it's like when you're first starting out. But basically, it's a lot of slow, very slow progress. I wonder if I can tell this to not be my capital planet anymore. Maybe that's what I need to do. Let's see here. Although I kind of don't want to do that because it would put me back quite a bit here. But Empire, so this warps my capital planet. That's all that does. You can see I've got like planet is blessed by divine intervention, so it's increasing productivity and whatnot. But I guess really what I need to do is get to the colony level, which where is colony at? Does that even show up on here? I don't know. I don't think you can colonize things yet. You can do defenses, military defenses. Now, bearing in mind that there are other players online, they can also attack you at any time. Your planets will automatically defend themselves, assuming they have defenses and whatnot. So that is part of the experience here. But I don't think that's all. I don't know how much of that is actually in the game yet. I don't think you can colonize other planets yet. I think they're still working on that. Even though you can form other planets in the system that you're in, you can't actually colonize them because there would be something here that would say colonize, I would imagine. Or at least with the shipyard. Maybe I have to do the shipyard, and then that will be able to build. I'll be able to build colony ships from that. Maybe I don't know. That seems like an interesting one. I'd have to get an armory and stuff set up here with steel and all that stuff. But really, honestly, it was more of a trying to get enough food for the population that we have, so we can get up to our population cap, and then I can get back to really making some stuff here. We got some vagrant men and women again, so I can start to ramp up my production on things again, I guess. Candles and syringes, I guess. Although it's going to be more of I think those are all going to be supply blocked. It really needs to give you a better idea of when things are supply blocked when you're doing stuff here, but it is what it is. Let's do some limestone, I guess. Let's get some ore going. We need ore. Let's have them do 2 things of ore. And then this guy over here can go back into production, and we'll say, give me some limestone and some rock. And the concrete plants, I guess, could start up again if we wanted them to. We don't have enough right now for that one. But this one, we could get the sawmills going, producing planks. I think I have more than enough planks, though. I think that's why I turned that off. No, I've got room for some more now. But yeah, it's basically a lot of managing this. I guess I could stand to have another warehouse, maybe. Let's see, build warehouse. We'll build you out in the middle of the ocean because we can. Yep, there it is. And then that'll get built with you see the concrete coming over, the metal sheets, and then steel at some point, although I think I turned off the steel production, did I? I did turn off the steel production. I need coal and iron. I think I've got a bunch of coal. I believe, yeah, I've got a bunch of coal. So I just need to get that producing steel again, which requires 25 workers. So I guess I could switch over to the women here maybe, and that will, let's see, can I switch that once I'm, no, you can't switch it once you got production going, it looks like. which makes sense. I was going to say maybe I could get like 5% bonus on both of those things, but nope, they're wise to that. They're wise to that little maneuver. What I can do is turn that off, and then I can switch over to this, and then I can go and say steel, and then metal sheets once we get to 25 here, because that'll take less resources to make them, which would be a good thing. You would think, oh, let's put the women in charge of everything, because then we get less resource requirements. But really, that 5% bonus or boost to production is also a really good thing. So it's really a lot of it. It's a good trade-off. You have to really get into what's more important to you. Or you can just build a second foundry and have that one give you your 5% bonus on the other thing, which is also another thing I can do. What else do we have here? We got concrete plants. I guess it makes sense to have you start making some bricks. I think we need bricks, right? Not really, but how about concrete? Yeah, I guess we could stand to have a little bit of concrete being built. So go here and we'll say concrete. Excellent. And is this warehouse built? Yep, it is. There we go. So now you can see I can get up to 750 now, and this will all slowly build up to that, which will make things a lot faster, make my building a ton faster. So you really do want, the warehouses, get as many warehouses as you can, just to try to max out your ability to build new things quickly and efficiently. I guess I'll get some more planks being built too. So yeah, I mean, this is about as good of a look as I can give you right now. It's still very pre-alpha, very early access. It takes a long time to get really anywhere, to get any progress. Like I said, before I started recording this, I had about 2 hours, I'd say, on this planet to get it to this point. And now it's sort of, we've gotten past the initial grind, and now it's more of a, just trying to get to the next level. There's still grind going on, but now I've got a lot more to do, a lot more to manage than I did before. And I understand it a little bit better than I did when I started as well. So my people are still severely depressed though. And I'm not sure what else they want. I mean, they got a damn theater here. I mean, what more do you want? How about, is there anything else we've got that we can give them? We can give them a stadium, which requires plants, plastic, and steel that we don't quite have yet. I don't have any plastic. I wonder what generates plastic. That's candles, syringe, and cloth. Or limestone. What creates plastic? There's chem tank is for. What is this for? Increase max storage by 250. But that's exactly what the warehouse does. So what is it storing? I mean, chemicals, obviously, but what? Oh, I guess that's for the oil, maybe? Oh yeah, oil requires a chem tank. And so does refinery. Ah, I got it. So that's if I have... So that gives me... So the refinery is what gives me the plastic. Ah, I got it. So this is where I need to get into chem tanks and stuff. So if I go... I'm just going to put it over... Yeah, I'll just put it down here. Why not? I don't know if pollution and stuff comes into play or not, but I imagine at some point it will. They did say in their updates, you know, the patch updates, that their buildings may have effects on other buildings that are in their vicinity and whatnot. So I assume that means like pollution or something to that effect. So it's our chem tank. So then now that I have that, that'll unlock the being able to do offshore drilling and stuff, which I'll probably do one way or the other here. But yeah, I think, that's about as much as I can show you at this point. Everything else is just me kind of sitting here and waiting for things to happen. So this has been Gods and Idols, my friends. It is by Viking Tau. It is currently in pre-alpha early access on Steam. It is free to play, and it's been out on Steam since December of 2016, so it's been out for a little while. There's a few people here and there online doing things, but I haven't really encountered anybody because I purposely picked a spot that was way out in the boondocks, so I didn't have to worry about being attacked and all that stuff right away. But yeah, as always, I'll leave links down in the description so you can do your own due diligence. Thanks so much for watching, everybody, and I'll see you next time.